Alright, so with the spring melt we had a few weeks back, this car got pretty dirty on the outside, especially on the back end where most of that dirt has accumulated. And this is where it gets fun, as the owner's dog has left an absolute pile of hair in here. It's literally covering every single surface in here. But not only that, I was informed after this detail was done that the stains on the back seats are actually dog vomit. So the Bissell definitely has some work to do. Alright, so I'm sure a lot of you are curious as to what I'm doing to keep myself safe while I work. What I'm doing now is running my ozone machine before and after each detail, as the ozone has the ability to neutralize and kill any bacteria or viruses, along with remove odors. So I actually had this car the night before I started working on it, and was able to let the ozone dissipate overnight before I had to spend any time inside the car. So while I blast away the dirt on the back end here, I figured I would give you a bit of the background on this vehicle. And so what I learned from the customer when it was dropped off was that it's actually her very first car, and I believe she bought it new back in 2014. And she also mentioned that this is the first time she's had it professionally detailed since she got it. And I have to think that the tipping point for getting it done was all the dog hair inside, because that can definitely be a big challenge if you don't have the proper tools and equipment. With the wheels clean, I'll then get some nice thick foam on the car to help loosen and lift any remaining dirt, and then I'll go around with a boar's hair detail brush to safely agitate around any trim, emblems, and behind the gas door to ensure all those areas are nice and clean, as my wash mitt isn't able to get down into those crevices. Now with the car drip drying a bit, I'll turn to all the rubber floor mats, and I'll first start by spraying them off with the pressure washer to get all the dirt and debris removed, and then using some all-purpose cleaner I'll hit them with the drill brush to finish them off, and then just rinse them off after. And like I've said before, that's typically all I do with rubber floor mats, unless they're really worn down and still look awful after they're clean. Then I would use some CarPro Pearl to revive them, but in this case these mats are in pretty good shape. Now as you guys can see, as I start on the seats here, I'm first going over everything with the vacuum to suck up any of the loose hairs, and then for the really stuck ones, I'll use the lily brush to pull them out of the fibers. And one thing I've come to learn after seeing so many vehicles with dog hair in them is that some dogs' hair is far easier to remove from cloth seats or carpet than others. And in the case of this dog, being a Husky German Shepherd mix, its hair was very difficult to remove at times. Some of those hairs were absolutely stuck deep in the seats. So at that point, it really just becomes a matter of how thorough do you want to be in your detail. And really my philosophy is like it is with everything else when I detail. If I can see it, then so can the customer. And leaving dog hair behind would only reflect poorly on me, so I always do my best to ensure the vehicle is as perfect as possible when I'm done. Now in the rear driver's side seat, like I had mentioned in the opening, this stain was from when the owner's dog was car sick in here. So once the vacuuming is done, I'll get the Bissell out and get that all cleaned up. But in the meantime, for any of the really stubborn hairs, you can see how well the lily brush works to get them pulled out of the seats. So if you guys are curious as to where you can get one of these, I have the link in the description for you, so make sure you check that out. They are very inexpensive and make really good gifts for people with pets. Moving down to all the hair on the carpets, and luckily with the floor mats doing their job well, there really wasn't too much that was stuck in the carpet, so I was able to vacuum it up pretty easily. Moving to the carpeted floor mats, and again, my trusty lily brush is going to make super quick work of all this hair. Now with all the hair off the mats, I'll spray on some carpet solution, and after letting it sit for a few minutes, I'll agitate with the drill brush and then just blast them clean with the pressure washer. Now moving to the couple of vomit stains in the back seats, and as usual I'm pre-treating with some of my Chemical Guys lightning fast carpet solution and then hitting it with the drill brush to get it all loosened up so the Bissell can suck it all away. So as you can probably see, there was a little bit of the stain remaining, so I put some more solution down and I'll repeat the whole process to ensure that it's completely gone. Now, even though the customer hadn't opted for the carpets to be shampooed, I couldn't leave the driver's footrest dirty like this, so since I already had the Bissell out, I figured I would just get it cleaned up real quick. And unfortunately, this Dodge Dart has those very cheap carpets that I've talked about in other videos. So when extracting them, it takes quite a few additional passes to ensure that I can get all of the solution out. Here's the half bucket full of dirty vomit water the Bissell pulled from this car. Gross. Now with the interior trim not being super dirty, I can quickly go around with some all-purpose cleaner and a slightly damp microfiber towel and simply wipe all the trim down. But for any crevices like the switches or around the speaker grill, I'll use my Boar's Hair detail brush as it's a little stiffer than the red Ultra Soft one and offers a bit more agitating ability. Now if you guys haven't gotten your hands on some 303 Aerospace Protectant yet, I would highly recommend picking some up, as it's one of the best products you can use on your vehicle's plastic trim to UV protect and dress it, really making it look brand new again. So if you guys are curious, the link is in the description along with nearly every other product and tool that I use, so feel free to check those out. Now to add some depth and gloss to this silver paint, I'm applying a synthetic paint sealant with a black finishing pad, and I'm making sure that I'm applying a nice even layer to all the painted surfaces on this car. Now I know I've seen some questions recently about what's the best way to avoid streaks on the inside of your windshield. And like I've mentioned before, the secret to streak-free glass is to use a waffle weave towel, as they won't leave streaks or lint behind like regular microfiber towels will. Now as I mentioned earlier, now that I'm done with the vehicle, I'll do another ozone treatment on it before my customer comes to pick up the vehicle, just to be extra safe.